exposure and what you're saying about it. Another case of active TB has been reported. This at an El Paso or Horizon City elementary school. We'll talk about that. Plus, only on ABC-7, a teacher who works there saying she's concerned with how the school is actually handling the situation. Also tonight, we're talking about that SWAT standoff that happened in Northeast El Paso yesterday and how police say the man got away for a little while, even though police were surrounding his house. And Donald Trump, if you haven't heard, he's interested apparently in buying some property across from Cielo Vista Mall. What you were saying about it tonight is quite interesting. The discussion you were sparking coming up. Also, the storm, it's brewing up above, Nicole. You can hear the thunder. What's the latest?
Bob, I'm actually tracking these showers and thunderstorms from our south. We also have moisture to our north. Just how much rain are we expecting tonight? That answer and weather.
Thanks so much, Nicole. It's all coming up next on ABC 7 at 9. Get ready. You become part of the day's news right now.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC 7 at 9 on the El Paso Las Cruces CW.
Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us here on ABC 7 at 9 on the CW. I'm Bob Harp. We'll have all the day's top stories coming up. But first, Nicole, we heard that big boom outside just about a minute ago. What's the deal outside?
Currently, want to take you straight to Doppler radar and show you where most of those storms currently located just south of the border. And as you can see, they're also moving towards the north. So I'm going to zoom in a little closer here, show you one of the advisories that we're currently under. Notice this includes Chaparral, that flood advisory. We'll zoom in a little closer and show you that this also includes portions of Northeast El Paso, Martin Luther King Boulevard, Kenworthy, and further out along US 54 Mesquite. So zooming out just a little closer, you can see those storms well to our south. We're going to put a tracker on here. I'll let you know if you're expected to see any rain coming up in just a bit. Bob?
All right. Thanks so much, Nicole. We do appreciate that. Let's get to our top story tonight. Again, the tuberculosis exposure. The story continues to develop. There is another case of active TB at Frank Macias Elementary School. That is out in Horizon City, just to the east of El Paso. The first active case was reported, you might remember, last month. Well, El Paso health officials still won't say if the second person with active TB is a student or a staff member, only saying he or she was part of the first group tested. Out of the 159 students and 96 staff members tested, 51 cases are positive. 20 more people still need to be tested, so we will, of course, keep you updated on that. Only on ABC 7 tonight, one of the teachers at Frank Macias Elementary who tested positive for latent TB is questioning how the Clint district is handling the situation. And she says she's worried that someone infected won't complete the strict treatment that is needed to stay healthy.
If we don't follow our treatment how it's supposed to be, latent eventually becomes active. So knowing that so many people are on medication and decide all of a sudden not to take their medication, you could one day wake up and have active, and in one day you could infect about 10 to 15 people.
Well, she also wants to know why new hires and all students won't be tested for TB. A district spokeswoman from Clint saying the health department is not yet recommending that, and that is why it's not being done. If you would like some more information on tuberculosis, all you have to do is visit KVIA.com. On our homepage, you will find what the TB symptoms are and how it's spread. We've also posted an article explaining the difference between a latent TB infection and TB disease. Our complete coverage of this TB exposure right now at KVIA.com. Well, take a look at the man who was arrested during the SWAT situation or after it last night in Northeast El Paso. 53-year-old Daniel Sandoval allegedly barricaded himself inside of his house. He lives on Mesquite Bush. Well, police and SWAT spent hours trying to get him to come out of the house. Our round-the-clock news team was there with them. And at about 1:30 this morning, police say Sandoval eventually came out. But listen to this. He reportedly drove through the garage door in his truck, hitting a rock wall and ramming into 2 police cars. Police say he also almost ran over several officers.
It was chaotic. He hit a couple police units, at least that we know of at this point. We're still investigating to see how much damage he caused.
Well, the chase, it ended near Grouse and Dyer when Sandoval's truck eventually died out on him. Tonight, he faces 2 aggravated assault charges. Donald Trump now, he may be wanting a piece of El Paso. The owners of the Saddle Blanket Company, which will close this month, told us today that Trump is interested in buying their 4-acre property near Cielo Vista Mall on the other side of I-10. It's going for $4.9 million.
He likes to go big, and he's obviously a savvy real estate guy, so I think he saw the value in it right away.
Well, Luke Henson, the owner who you just heard from, saying there are no negotiations with Trump at this point, but he is taking Trump very seriously. What you're saying about this tonight and Trump's scheduled visit to Laredo, Texas tomorrow, that's coming up in just a few minutes. You don't want to miss what you're saying about that. Also tonight, Texas Senator John Cornyn, he really wants to crack down on cities that give safe haven for undocumented immigrants. Today, he sent us a statement saying, sanctuary cities flaunt our nation's immigration laws, decrease public safety, and undermine the public's trust in government. So he is co-sponsoring a bill that would limit federal funding for local governments that don't cooperate with immigration officials. It would also increase prison sentences for any violent immigrants who are caught sneaking back into the country. The U.S. House is set to vote on a similar bill tomorrow. Some neighborhoods in central El Paso, like Chico Court in between Maple and Cedar Streets, are about to be a little quieter. Trains will no longer have to sound their horns to warn drivers and pedestrians. The city is already reconstructing some of those streets. Today, ABC-7 spoke with some homeowners who say they're losing parking spaces right in front of their home. And if you didn't know, a lot of those houses don't have driveways.
We were just wondering what's going on because they made the street narrow. There's no parking now for, if anybody wants to visit us, they can't park because they'll be blocking the street. We didn't know what was going on till we saw them digging up the street, digging up the holes, and that's when they told us they were going to make the street narrow, which we didn't understand why.
Well, a spokesman for the city is telling ABC-7 the city held numerous community meetings to inform those homeowners about the changes, and they even asked for their feedback. A mental health facility in Doña County is about to open up. It will determine the needs of the mentally ill. The facility is right beside the County Detention Center in downtown Las Cruces. The center was built 3 years ago and cost taxpayers $2 million, but it's still not up and running. The Health and Human Services Department is saying the county is trying to find the right company for the job. They are now hoping for a grand opening by the end of this year. Storm track weather again if you are just joining us right now. There's a storm a-brewing, Nicole. We heard that thunder rumbling just a bit ago.
Oh, yes. It looks like the west side, we could see some rain coming up within the next few minutes. But let's take a closer look at that storm. It is moving from the south, tracking towards the north. And the direction it's moving, again, it looks like we could see rain on the west side of town, even towards downtown El Paso. I'm going to zoom in a little closer where you can see that cell tracking towards the north, currently towards Sunland Park, Anapra, and Sunland Park Drive as well. Also looks like it's tracking towards Executive Center. But I'll throw on the tracker here where you can see this showing us around 9:43. We could see rain around Sunland Park, Coronado Hills 10:02, and Mountain View around 10:39. So again, that storm is tracking towards the north where we could see some rainfall. Currently also seeing heavy rain tracking through US 54 around Chaparral. I'll zoom in just a little closer here where the precip rate here is about 0.65 and a flood advisory is currently in place for Chaparral. And this includes portions of northeast El Paso, around Martin Luther King Drive, Mesquite. So if you live in that area, we're currently keeping an eye on that situation because we could see more heavy rain in that direction. We also have a storm brewing just along I-10 around Sierra Blanca, and this is also dropping small hail along I-10, and this system also moving towards the north. So our main threat for tonight will of course be the rain. Some of these storms will also produce stronger winds and lightning with some of these storms as well. And as you just saw, also hail. But we'll continue to track these storms, talk about rain chances in your area coming up in just a bit. Bob?
All right. Thanks so much, Nicole. You can connect with us tonight by using the name CU on the CW. because we want to see you on the CW. You can find that name on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and join the discussions we have underway there. And of course, KVIA.com's Facebook page is where a lot of that is happening as well. So let's go ahead and get back to some Trump talk, shall we? All right, we know he is scheduled to make a visit to Laredo, Texas tomorrow. He's trying to drum up support for his bid to become the U.S. president. And it does come after his harsh comments about Mexicans.
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
Well, the former governor of Texas tonight is not holding back on how he feels about Donald Trump. Rick Perry said Trump is, quote, wrongly demonizing Mexican Americans for political sport. Perry also reacting to this comment Trump made when asked if he's ever asked God for forgiveness.
I'm not sure I have. I just go and try and do a better job from there. I don't think so. I think if I do something wrong, I think I just try and make it right. I don't bring God into that picture.
Well, in response, Rick Perry said this, quote, a man too arrogant, too self-absorbed to seek God's forgiveness is precisely the type of leader John Adams prayed would never occupy the White House. All of Perry's comments about Trump, you can find them at KVIA.com right now. And of course, you at home, you are not shy about taking on the Trump tonight, Nicole.
Let's get to what you're talking about. Trump's visit tomorrow in Texas. Diana says, I seriously doubt that any Latino in El Paso is going to vote for him. And Jose says, wouldn't be surprised if there was an incident at the border during his visit to back up his drive. And Dawn says, this man likes to push people's buttons. Ariana tells Jessica, I got hyped thinking he was going to come to our city. And Marco says, go Trump, make America great again.
And David, though, saying, like him or not, the issues are real and can't be ignored. Joaquin saying the truth hurts. If he would win, no more freebies to illegals. Let's take care of our American people first. Okay, and there's also a lot of talk tonight, Nicole, that Donald Trump might be interested in buying that El Paso Saddle Blanket property. It's across I-10 from Cielo Vista Mall, and it's up for sale pretty soon.
The owner says he's taking Trump seriously and no word of what he wants to do with the property. But this is what you're saying. John says, yeah, I can sell rugs for your head. And Derek says, if Trump comes to El Paso, it's only going to stir up trouble from the South.
And from Chris tonight, he's not coming. One look outside his private jet and he will say, turn the plane around. Okay. Well, hey, what do you have to say about Donald Trump coming to Texas tomorrow and possibly buying that property across from Cielo Vista Mall? Go to our Facebook page right now. Tell us what you have to say about that. Also new tonight, an advanced piece of technology. It is now in the Sun City, and it's helping apparently with some difficult surgeries. The Da Vinci robotic system. It is now at the Las Palmas Hospital, and it will be used to perform medical procedures like heart, kidney, and even prostate surgeries. Today, the hospital had its official ribbon cutting, and when we spoke with Dr. Richard Farah, he said it's going to cost a little more.
This is the first such robot here in El Paso, and we've had it for about 2 weeks. I'm one of the fortunate surgeons to be one of the first to use this technology.
How cool is that, though? He also said that it will help patients to recover quickly, more quickly than usual. High-tech procedures here in El Paso. Pretty cool. And we all know that working out will definitely relieve some stress, but when you're undergoing cancer treatment, the last thing you're probably thinking about is going to the gym. But that's about to change. In a story you'll see tonight only on ABC-7, our very own Estela Casas takes you to a Borderland gym that's helping cancer patients along with their journey. It is called Cancer Size. That's spelled with an X in it. And one of those has a team of cheerleaders cheering her on. Her name is Miriam Garcia Trejo.
Sometimes you don't feel like going anywhere or doing anything. And I think when you know that your friends are going to be there, you're more likely to get out of the house and get your mind off of things for a little bit. And I also think that it's a good de-stressor.
Well, our thoughts are certainly with you, Miriam, and you can hear her story tonight at 10, again only on ABC-7. Tonight, 2 local athletes are making a buzz in social media. How you can actually help an El Paso girl become a San Antonio Spurs dancer. It's as easy as checking out our Facebook page and clicking the link we posted just a few minutes ago. Also, a UTEP football player is inspiring sayings like this from our web director. Aaron Jones is so cool, Penguins hang out with him. Hashtag AJ29. So we're asking you to get in on the fun. Come on, impress us with your AJ sayings. We know you have what it takes. And Greg is telling us tonight, stop rubbing it in, KVIA, sad face. He's talking about the U.S. soccer team losing today to a team it probably should have beat. It's what you're talking about tonight. Nicole? And I'm tracking heavy rain moving through portions of East El Paso. I'll let you know if the rain is headed towards your neighborhood coming up in Storm Track weather. This is ABC 7 at 9 on the CW. You don't just watch the news here. You are the news. We'll be right back.